born. And you might be asking the same question. How can I be born again? We are talking about your spiritual man. The old man must die, and the new creation must come. And that's according to the step that you take forward. You know, there's an old song that I used to sing when I was a kid. And when I think about that step, some of you may know this song. The song it was a kid's song, an old folk song. It's called The Hokey Pokey. Anybody know that song? If you know that song, raise your hand. You know that song? It goes, I'm going to sing it with y'all. You can sing a little bit with me if you know that song.
But it says that I put my foot in. I take my right foot out.
I put my right foot in and I shake it all about. I do the hokey pokey and I turn myself around, and that's what it's all about. Think about that. Let's think about that. I'm going to sing that one more time. This time we're going to use it with the sword. I put the Bible is the word of God, and sometimes we're in it, sometimes we're out of it. All of us have been there, if we're honest. You know, so we're going to say the sword. I put my sword in, I put my sword out. I put my sword in, and I shake it all about. I do the hokey pokey, and I turn myself around, and that's what it's all about. So when you think about that, we understand sometimes you're going to put your foot in, and sometimes you're going to take that foot out. Sometimes you're going to put that foot back in, and then you're going to shake it all about. So you're going to test the waters a little bit. Let me see about this Jesus that I heard about. Is he really that good? Like the Bible said, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. And then it says, and then I shake it all about. I do the hokey pokey, and we know sometimes we get in the word and we deep and we got a seal and we're running and racing, and then we begin to do the hokey pokey. You know the hokey pokey. Sometimes it might dip off a little bit. You know, you see something that looks good. It might be that woman that you know is not for you. It might be that bar that's calling you that you know is not for you. It might be for that addiction of drugs and alcohol and smoking that you know is not for you. That's that hokey pokey part. But you have experienced a little bit because you put your foot in. So the Bible is saying, turn yourself around. And that's what it's all about. That's what Christ was saying to Peter. He was saying, Peter, I know that you're going to dibble and you're going to dabble a little bit. I know that you're going to fall and do the hokey pokey, but turn yourself around. And Peter, that's what it's all about. And just like Peter began to do great things, we understand at one time Peter was laying hands and demons were getting cast out, but there was a great number that was saved once Peter turned himself around. Peter understood. He now got it. Peter began to walk in the Spirit. This was what Christ was calling him to the whole time. Christ knows who you are today. And he understands that some of you may have done the hokey pokey. He understands that some of us have dibbled. Some of us don't know where we are during this expedition time. And this is what it was, a trial. A trying of your faith. An expedition time. This is where Peter was at. And Christ was saying, I'm going to allow you to go through because during this process I am making you. I am shaping you. I am building you up so that you can see what type of wheat you are. Look at your neighbor and say, you are wheat. You are a wheat. Some of us have to just turn ourselves around. Turn it around. And the place that we can turn it around is at the cross. I tell you, at the cross, you can find what you need. I know you have questions of why this is going on in my life. Why am I experiencing the things that I am experiencing? And I can imagine that Peter was looking and amazed as he seen Jesus going to the cross to be crucified. Why? What is going on? I've seen Jesus do all these great things. That might be the place that you're in today. But Christ is saying, I didn't send you on the expedition to die. I didn't send you to be destroyed. I have everything that you need. Everything. I know your thoughts from afar off. I sit high and I look low. God knows everything. There's not a worry in your life that Christ can't fix. And if you look at it spiritually, understand that this is just the expedition time. I'm just passing through. I'm just putting a left foot in and a left foot out. I'm testing the waters, but it's time to turn around. If you're in that place and you want to turn around, give your life to Christ. I tell you, there's nothing like giving your life to Christ. The Bible says that one day we will all stand before judgment. One day we will all stand before judgment. There's not a knee here that won't bow one day. And I tell you, you don't want to wait to bow down to Christ, to God, with a frowning face. He's calling you today to turn around, to change your life, to find out what your spiritual gift is. Because your natural gift is not going to take you all the way. But the spiritual gift will take you all the way. Because the spiritual gift keeps you connected to God. If you don't have the spiritual gifts and you have not surrendered your life to Christ, you will worry. You will be in a maze when you see trials and tribulations come. And you will experience what Peter experienced as he walked on the water and his eyes were set on Christ. He began to sink when his eyes were set on the wind. Don't keep your eyes on the wind. Right now, I'm going to close out there and just understand that expedition time is not meant to destroy you. It is not meant to kill you. It is meant to make you. And if you're not in that place today, and listen, don't worry about the people in here. Don't worry about the thought, because the enemy doesn't want you to make it through this process. If that's the reason he went before God and said, can I sit? He needed permission. And God gave him permission. And that's something, and sometimes God has to let go of your hand and let you begin to walk on your own a little bit. Just like a baby. Sometimes you got to take a chance and then let go of the baby and see if they can make it to you on their own. And this is what God is saying today. He's saying that I want you to let go of my hand and begin to walk on your own, but in my image. If you want to give your life to Christ, I'm going to ask you to come up now. If there's anybody here that you want to grow, you want your life to be transformed, listen, I'm going to tell you now, the devil will speak to your mind and tell you that this is not what God has for you. This is not the place that you need to be. God is saying that I've died for this day. I have died for you to come to me and be reunited as my child. And there are benefits from this. Is there one that would like to give their life to Christ? Is there anyone that would like to give their life to Christ? If so, come down to the altar. Is there anyone that needs prayer? If there's anyone that needs prayer, come down to the altar. And it doesn't matter what you need prayer for. Come down so we can touch and agree. Is there anyone else? This is the time to come together, just like the big brother factor. Don't wait until the enemy gets you by yourself. Don't wait until the enemy gets you by yourself.